Just first, get your thoughts on this format of being able to talk to the media around the league by just walking upstairs instead of taking a trip.
Anytime that I can accomplish something by not leaving campus or home, I'm for it. I'm not a guy that enjoys a lot of travel away from. I don't mind the actual travel part of it. I just don't like being away from my family, number one, and number two is so close to, and so many things that we need to get done here. You feel like you're missing something. So I'm a big fan of it. Love the fact that I didn't have to leave campus today to get this accomplished.
I know you didn't go to one of these when they did travel to it. Probably an impression that it increases the coverage. It turns now the media doesn't have to make that trip either. They just got to sit in front of the computer.
Yeah, you know, I don't have anything to compare it to, but it seemed like there were, I could see on the screen all the people there were either listening or on the call, and seemed like it was well attended by the media. And then, you know, I don't know that we had enough time to answer all the questions from everyone, but again, I'm a big fan of it.
Talk about have you been surprised by all the stuff that the head coach does?
No, not really.
When it gets going?
Not really. You know, having been at Ole Miss with Ed, and he was a new coach, and I kind of got tagged along with him to pretty much everything he did, and kind of saw it from that end that he had the excitement level very high going into his first season, and so he was in demand at a lot of places, and so I kind of saw that, and I'm glad it's that way and not the other way to where people are saying, well, I dread the season, you know. So certainly would rather have it this way to where, you know, people want to hear from you and are very excited about what's coming.
With that said, though, I know you're excited to be to this point where it's kind of football time.
Yeah, it's time to quit all the speaking and let's find something to sustain their excitement through results on the field. And you know, I carry that burden with me each day and know that I would love nothing more than our fans to leave this stadium just giddy over our team, you know, and the way we perform. So it's time for us to get down to business.
There are a zillion preseason polls.
Yeah.
Tons of thirds all the way to an eighth,
yeah,
and everywhere in between. Are you feel like in some ways you guys are the great unknown in the Sun Belt a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I just don't make much of the polls. I don't. I had a chance to vote in one, and I put us first. So that's what I think about us, and I refuse to think any other way. But you know, I just don't make much of the polls, and I would find it hard to believe that in the coaches in this conference that we're an unknown, having been in every single game last year right down to the wire. I would feel like they think probably accurately the way we were picked by them. Fourth or fifth, somewhere in there. It's probably the way they see us, but really doesn't matter how they see us or what the polls say. It's what do we believe about ourselves.
You guys got a first place vote in the coaches poll, and you already said it was your vote. Now, it didn't start out that way, but again, once you found out you could, that's what you felt like you needed to do.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of the way that poll's done, and I've made no bones about that. I don't think it's the best way to do it in having us vote for ourselves, because you know the coaches in the conference could get kind of rubbed the wrong way if you know a team like FIU has so many returners. They on paper probably, you know, deserve to be ranked number one along with Troy, but you know, I think in the team that we deal with, I'm caught between, do you do what paper says is the best, or do you do what you think's best for your football team? And every single time I'll go with what I think's best for our football team, and I think it's important for our seniors and other kids we're depending on to hear me say I voted us number one because I believe that's where we have a chance to be. You know, we've got to accomplish it. Again, it's just something on paper, but you know, if I'm put in that spot every single time, I'm going to go with our team.